All right, welcome back. Our topic today is evaluating the impact of the Presidential Award on Super Falcons, success or setback. Today we're stepping into a conversation that sits at the intersection of sports recognition and national economics. The Super Falcons recently delivered a powerful performance at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON, and in celebration, the president announced a generous $100,000 reward for each player and $50,000 for the technical team. On the surface, it's a feel-good moment. After all, the Super Falcons are not just any team. They're 11-time African champions, pioneers of women's football on the continent, and have qualified for every single FIFA Women's World Cup since 1991, even reaching the quarterfinals in 1999, an African record. So they've carried this flag very proudly, often under harsh conditions and institutional neglect. But this reward has sparked a range of reactions. Some say it's long overdue. Finally, women's football is getting the recognition it deserves. Others believe that it's economic recklessness, especially in a time when many Nigerians are battling rising inflations, fuel hikes, and mounting national debt. So there's also a third camp asking whether this is globally comparable or just a grand gesture that masks deep structural problems in our sports system. So today, we ask, evaluating the impact of the Presidential Award on Super Falcons, success or setback. And to help us unpack this, we are joined by Ekene Dike, a respected football analyst and scout who has his ear to the ground when it comes to player development, policy gaps, and what football really needs to thrive in Nigeria. Good morning, Ekene, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we're going straight into the discussion. It's a very critical one, and I want us to begin with the context. I am sure that you have followed women's football for years now. I want to firstly ask, what does this award mean symbolically now for the Super Falcons, and is it really, truly historic?
Yes, it is quite remarkable because the Super Falcons have achieved something that is remarkable in the history of women's football in Africa, winning a 10th AFCON title in a wonderful way because they came from 2 goals down to win the game 3-2. It's one of the greatest comebacks in football history. And the reward is truly sensational because they haven't been rewarded in a long time, and it's the first time they've been gaining their recognition. So indeed, it is quite astronomical.
All right. So some people say this is just thank you. Others call it a distraction from economic hardship. So what's your take? Do you think this is a national morale booster or misplaced priority?
Okay, from my point of view, I think it is a wonderful reward, but wrong timing. Because in the moments where the economy is in a state of disarray and the Super Falcons are rewarded in such a huge manner, there will be question marks raised about the relevance of the reward in such trying moments. However, it is something that they deserve, but if you look at it from a neutral point of view, there are other pressing issues in the country which have to be attended to.
All right. Thank you, Ekene. So I like that you already have said it's great, but the timing is what is wrong. Right? I hate to play the devil's advocate, but I really agree. Now, my question will come from this other angle. Let's just say that, okay, it's good that they were awarded all of these things, but let me take us down the history lane a little bit. In 1994, the Super Eagles won the AFCON, the trophy, AFCON trophy at that time, and they were promised houses, just as Super Falcons have been promised. This promise was fulfilled 31 years later. These houses were given them in June 2025, right? Also, Choma Ajunwa, my beloved namesake, Choma received her promise from the Lagos state government 25 years later. What are the odds? Maybe we're just here, hitting our heads together. Oh, you people shouldn't have done that. What if it's audio money? So I said all of that to say this, to ask this question. How do we hold the federal government accountable to keep to these promises they make to sportsmen and women? These people are doing great in their fields, if I dare say that, right? How do we hold them accountable? First of all, in all honesty, do you think this is another audio money, audio promise kind of thing? Do you think it's politically motivated? Also, how do we hold them accountable? I'm sorry, but the three of them, could you answer to that? Thank you.
All right. From my point of view, I don't think it is, in quotes, audio money. I think they have looked at the situation critically, and the $100,000 might just be an accumulation of all the rewards that they have missed out on, because we all know that women's football has not been recognized fully in Nigeria. So maybe they are just trying to accumulate all the past rewards they've missed out on, and just decide to just give it to them because they've achieved something wonderful. This is the 10th time they are winning the WAFCON title, and nobody has been able to achieve that landmark. Furthermore, as regards holding them accountable, we are now in the digital age where people make use of social media, and you can go viral. So if the government is not accountable, for what they promise the players, the players and the members of the 11-man technical committee can always, take to social media to speak about it. And what I've noticed is social media is a tool, to reach out to the wider audience and the world at large. So there are better ways of following up with failed promises. And as regards when they are going to receive their promises, in Nigeria, the government is capricious, so are we trying to, assume that, okay, for example, Michel Alozie is 29 years now. So if going by the past, promises where they, go on to receive their promises from the government after 30 years, that means she's going to be 59 by the time, she receives the reward, which is quite ridiculous.
Well, thank you for that very hilarious analysis you just gave us. But it's hilarious to us because many times we're not the ones at the forefront of this. But it begs the question of really what's going on. I know you have mentioned that social media is one way we could hold them accountable. I think you mentioned it very briefly. But I really want to talk about the process that goes into it, like the protocol itself. To announce these rewards is usually a press conference. But after the press conference, what happens next? What are people signing? Who are the bodies involved? Who is following up on this? Or is it later, after 5-10 years, that it doesn't come, to fruition, that people start running around in circles? So what happens after? I wanted you to speak from a football analyst point of view. We're not exactly football enthusiasts as much. I don't know if anyone here is. So we don't know what happens. We just saw the press release. And from a point of excitement, it was amazing. But what happens afterwards? The next step, that probably the technical teams or the people managing these players do, or maybe legal processes. Just let us in on how you think it works.
Okay. So when these promises are made, the modus operandi is that, it is not processed immediately. It is not an immediate effect sort of process. It takes a couple of years for the government to get everything done because there are other pending projects. So this will just add to, the list of things they want to do, like there are other projects like trying to, they are trying to make other policies, make sense in Nigeria. So this will just be part of, their to-do list.
Interesting. To-do list.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with to-do list.
Well,
Anyway.
I think Triumph has a question for you.
Okay, so the next question that I want to ask, because having seen Nigeria in different phases, different stages, I'm sorry, but sometimes I'm not quick to trust the things that I don't see yet. All right? So I would like to ask that, seeing the kind of record that we have had in the past, I mean, the promises that were made to these people was even more than the things that we even spoke about earlier. They also promised them apartments, and all of that. So my question is that, what if we have delays? How would this affect the national representation for these talents, for these women? How would this affect it if we eventually have delays? And unfortunately, that delay might not be loud. We might not hear about it. However, my question is that, how is it going to affect, our own attractiveness? Like, how is it going to affect us? That's my question.
Okay, so the truth is, these things are not fully understood in Nigeria because, like we all know, Nigeria is a very is a shambolic system, which it really takes the best of experience to explain. The truth is the country is not is far from a normal system. So when things like this happen, we can expect the best and also expect the worst.
All right, thank you so much. Before we take a short break, I'd like to just ask you, let's move away from the prize money now, since we have different school of thought as regards that. But let's look at the Super Falcons themselves and the football industry. Would I call it an industry in Nigeria? Owing to your own experiences so far, I'm glad that we're topping the chart in some ways. We've been taking, the awards, the trophy over time. But what do you think needs to be improved to really set us on global standards, specifically for women football now? Because many times I think it's the men that gets the glory. They're the ones that usually recognize, but somebody even had to call them Super Eagles for you to know that not many know them as Super Falcons, right? So that means there are certain challenges that come with women football in Nigeria, even though they are really great talent. So what do you think can be done, to step us up a bit and, so we can even compete on global standards?
Okay, so I'll start from the grassroots level because for any idea to be bettered and actualized or come into fruition, you have to equip the grassroots level. From my experience, from football scouting, I think the aspect of social media should be utilized more and video coverages. If you look at countries in Europe like England or a well-known country and powerhouse in women's football, which is the United States of America, they have put in more efforts into their grassroots system and video coverages alongside utilization of social media. For example, I go to watch a game between FC Robo and maybe Akwa Ibom Ladies, and the video coverage is not really top-notch, and they don't really have good social media presence and a YouTube channel, to upload videos. So if they can, focus on video coverages and portraying what they stand for or the quality of football on social media, I think things will improve in terms of recognition of women's football, not just in Nigeria, and in Africa as a whole.
All right, thank you so much, Ekene. We'll take a short break right now. When we come back, we'll open up more context to this particular story. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
All right, welcome back, our viewers, to our show this morning. We're talking about the impact of the presidential award on the Super Falcons, if this is a success or a setback, and even beyond the prize money. We're trying to open up what really happens in the football industry sector in Nigeria, especially for females. And we've been joined by Ekene. Ekene, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Great. So I like the fact that you mentioned something about, social media as part of a way we could elevate ourselves and bring ourselves on social global standards. And then I just remember that I watched a video from Rash. I think that's her TikTok name, one of the football players that really has been representing us well. And I think if it comes to that social media one, she's quite excellent with it. She has a following, she has the content, and even beyond football, she does Christian content as well. She opens the Bible, and it's quite amazing because if you look at her based on some stereotypes that people have. You will not expect her to want to talk about Jesus, but she does that. So there's the content part of it and everything, which is from our own personal brand, right? I don't know how much of branding is done for each of the players. Do you understand? Because we're in a world where branding, storytelling actually elevates anybody from different sectors. So yes, that's part of the challenges that we've highlighted. But Chima has something else to open up for us. So
Ekene, so I would like to tilt towards the area of sports infrastructure and, welfare of these sportsmen and women, right? How are we taking care of these people? I'm saying that to point out, if you remember, Favor Ofili. Favor Ofili is Nigeria's sprint sensation. She's excellent at her sport, right? And I think sometime last year, the Nigerian Athletic Federation notably omitted her name, right, in the 100 meters for both Tokyo 2020 and Paris 2024 Olympics, despite qualifying for these games, right? It was so annoying. I think I could feel her pain, right? As at May this year, Favor has transferred allegiance from Nigeria to Turkey. And that begs the question, how far can we go? How far are we going as Nigeria, as a system now, to take care of these people that we so much celebrate out, like she said, out loud? We push them out. Oh, we're giving you $100,000 to celebrate your win and all of that. But then the welfare, outside all of these accolades and all, when I need you to defend me outside of this place, I mean, imagine omitting me. It doesn't make any
really
sense.
Sadly, because they give their whole life
to this, and
basically.
Then she is qualified. She was qualified. So assuming it was a don't worry, I'll fix it inside. It would be another different story. But she was qualified. So how do you think the system can adjust this? Make welfare priority for these people.
Yeah. So, like you mentioned, that is a good epitome of a failed system, an omission from the world's greatest events, one of the greatest sports events is truly melancholic, and demoralizing for anyone to experience. And no surprises that she had to switch allegiances to Turkey, which is a better system. So for donkey's years, we have always been trying to make people that are the helm of affairs in Nigeria to be accountable for everything and to, avoid horrendous errors like this, that, are very bad. And so, as regards, improving on the welfare, I think there should be a penalty for everyone at, the helm of affairs that go against the rule of looking out for the welfare of Nigerian athletes or sports personnel, because if there is a penalty, it will proselytize these people to act the best and not just act nonchalantly. Because when you have it at the back of your mind that if I fail to deliver in my obligation to get things done, and I will be penalized, maybe salary deduction or any way that can be effective. I think that would be the most efficacious way of bringing the change that we clamor for.
All right, thank you so much, Ekene, for joining us on this particular topic. We're going to take the conversation now to our ladies. Thank you so much. We hope to have you again on one of our segments that is sports inclined. So yeah, we'll see you again. Thank you so much, Ekene.
Thank you for having me, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
You too, Ekene. Thank you. All right, now, my ladies, football. Honestly, I think that there's a whole lot to unpack with this whole story. At first, there's a way we could just get distracted with just the prize money. Oh, why are you giving them 100,000? Oh, 100,000 is small, a different school of thought and everything. But I like the fact that we've mentioned the whole welfare thing. He has given his own idea. I'm sure even before you asked the question, you have something in mind that you think should work, right? Because I think on this table we're solution providers. We can prompt, we can give ideas, we can give solutions as much as we can. So looking at the football industry, basically, even for women, it's a very dicey one. It's something that if you commit to, it's a risk, in the sense that your retirement is very quick. Unlike other industries and sectors that they retire 65, 70, 75, they retire 31, even though we know that that age thing plays differently. Because they'll say under 17, and somebody that is 28 is in under 17. Let's not go to that, to the politics that play in there. Well, can we really blame them if they do things like that?
You can't really blame them.
Do you understand? Because if we're retiring 31, I'm still at my prime. I think I can still play. Do you understand? So there's the politics there and everything, but there's also the fact that these people need intentional welfare. This story that you called out is quite saddening.
It was.
I've not really played a lot of sport, but I know what it means to be taken out of a major...
Something you qualify for.
I used to be a sprinter in school. I've mentioned this story a lot of times. I used to run the last leg in school. At a point when I was going to represent my house, the color of, this color, red house, green house, I think I had some issues with, running at that point. So I couldn't represent as much. And I know it was like I was defeated. This sportsmanship lifestyle is one that comes with a lot of emotion and commitment. Like they give their whole life to it.
Their whole life.
The training they give is a whole lot. 24/7. We've heard of stories of Messi and Ronaldo, how long they spend training. So imagine somebody giving their all. It's not a regular 9 to 5. It's a 2-4-7
thing.
Do you understand?
Down to what you eat, what you do, how you sleep.
The intensity of the training. So imagine people like this not given as much importance when it comes to their welfare. It beckons like, what are we really doing? Are we really trying to place ourselves on that global standard? Because I think abroad, looking at other football associations abroad and even other countries, how they pay attention to their players, it's like, oh, it's quite favorable, it's quite amazing. So what do you think are the solutions that can be put in place? I know you have mentioned some things. What are your own ideas?
I'm sorry, but I want to even... move away from football. Because now that's the thing. Nigerians is football. How many people talk about sprinters? How many people talk about, all of other sports, right?
But it's not only a Nigerian thing. Football is one of the most prominent
I get that.
sports.
Where I'm going with it is, when we talk about welfare now, you're thinking, oh, let's take care of the Super Falcons is in our faces, right? Falcons are on our faces. Oh yeah, even the Eagles, right? Away from them. How many other sportmen and women do you know? Do you understand? So it has to be an umbrella body, right? I believe the NAF is an umbrella body for these people. So why can't we take care of all of them? I should be proud to identify as a Nigerian. Favor Living Nigeria had my 100% support because I cannot train morning and night. Hard work got into that. And then you omit me. Like, I'm an afterthought. It doesn't...
What was even the whole backstory to that particular... Was it something political that played out? Did she offend people in the higher
Or was it a
because it happens.
thing?
Yes, it happens. When you offend somebody that is signing your name, they will take your name out. Whether you are the best of talent, it happens in this country.
Maybe they choose somebody over her.
I feel like we Nigerians... Now, talking about sports being emotional, leave the players. Come to Nigerian men and women that love sports. You see men going hungry because their team didn't win.
Yes.
You see, you understand? They are visibly upset. So it's emotional for us. I feel like it should be us holding these people accountable. Because now when you hold them accountable, you have to stay true to it because some of us are very short-sighted. So when it's favoring you, when the whole mago is in your favor, it's favor. But then when it's not favoring you, it's maltreatment. So we all have to actually agree to hold these people accountable. Call them out if need be. Do you understand? Let's stop this politics we play. Okay, it's my uncle that is NFA president or NAF president. So he's trying, he's Nigeria. But then when he's not your uncle, you want to hold him.
Hold that person.
Do you understand? So we, first of all, accepting the burden to hold them accountable. I think that's where it starts from. Yeah.
Before I allow Triumph to speak, pardon me, I think also, you mentioned something about in the moment feeling for Nigerians.
Yeah.
We probably remember these sports people when they win.
Okay.
When they... I'm also in this group chat.
I
haven't been following the Super Falcons, the Nigerian sports, what's it called? Area. I don't go there. Doesn't interest me.
Exactly.
But you see people that have never watched football before, you now saw them win. They are making our country. You were not there in their story from the beginning, from the middle,
Before they got
everything.
to the finals.
Do you understand? So it's almost like we just like the moment part. And I think maybe that's what even plays in politics. The president, the first lady, not to call anyone out, well, let's even look at it. Yes, you came out to give prize money. You came out to award them. But before they brought that win home, how invested have you been in their career?
Right.
Do you understand? That's when, if you give them $1 million, it makes sense because you've been following through. Do you understand? But let me hear what Triumph
Okay,
has
so
to
what
say.
I would like to add is that now for the, you mentioned how that, the moment thing, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is where we now, that is where we actually miss where the event actually happens. You mentioned that not just football, what about the other activities that happen? Who are the people supporting these people? Who are the people coming through for these people? Who are the people that are ready? There are some other things.
How
When
do
we
we
go into
recruit
the
talent?
entertainment industry, we have more information about that industry
than
this
sports.
industry, than sports, than the people that are actually representing us in a more serious thing. I beg to say, well, I'm not apologetical about it, but I would like to say that we are not paying attention to these people. People can literally tell what an artist to look like while it was growing.
Yes.
But you don't even know. I did not know Rashida when she was when she was starting out and all of that. I feel like we should pay more attention to these people. If you are interested in certain activities, certain sport, follow through with these people. If you are the only one, just like you said, it starts from us. If you are that one person that you can, follow through with this particular person, because honestly, football is the popular one. Football is the one that is on everybody's lips.
Even
But
globally.
Globally.
Most popular sport.
However, every other sport demands everything from you. So I think we should also give them back everything.
You're very right. Thank you for mentioning that. Entertainment, we know the Tiwa Savage, the Davido,
We
the
know
Wizkid.
everything.
I mean, you can describe how they look like. We see different people. But when it comes to the sport people, how many of them do you know? I was trying to get Rash's name. I think I know her first name as Rash, but I think I know her blue hair, so myself, I'm trying. Do you understand? So I think we need to start paying more attention to them. Start giving them their recognition.
Give them
because
the recognition they deserve.
They do a whole lot. I mean, I don't really know much about
There are
training.
some deals. There are some, we know a lot of, deals, brand deals, influencing deals, promotion, even from both the government and private, federal government, the private institution that is coming. These things can go to these people too.
Well, sorry to cut you. I'm really sorry. But I actually agree. But I was going to add that I will commend a few Nigerian brands now that are beginning to bring in the sportsmen and women. They're beginning to, I've seen a couple, not to give any promotions, but I've seen a couple of these brands
On
bring
major
them
deals,
in.
not the one
Yeah,
that's
major
doing
deals.
sneakers. The one that's doing Panadol, pain relief. Not that, I mean major deals.
It's relative to their job. So
not
give them
relative, it's still a bit
credit.
They should get more attention.
They can get more attention
They
because
can
even
get
these
better
entertainment
attention.
people, you give them gigs that are not basically
Related.
every time entertainment. So
Right.
why should you stereotype to pain
Panadol,
relief?
come on.
Because I'm always working hard. I think it can go more than that. So as we wrap up the show, we cannot but talk about this buzz with the whole prize money. I think even on primetime yesterday was discussed. And I don't know if you watched Uwa's video, a lot of people were on the comment section saying, you people should leave them alone and everything. But we gave a perspective yesterday that our nation, we're not there yet where we can be giving money. It gives the idea of, let's say you attend a rich man's school and then maybe you as a parent, you know that you cannot afford certain things, but because you see your child's friend is always bringing capsule and all, then you start doing that for your child, whereas you know your own income. So that's the kind of play I am seeing here. But let's have your own thought about it. We've mentioned it softly, but what do you think?
I think that if they come out...
Do you think it was an overstretch, firstly? Based on our economic realities? Let me put the question very simple.
I don't think it was overstretched. Why do I not think that it was overstretched? Because we have also seen some things that they do that is way more than that. And they make the money happen for it.
Okay.
And there are things that we are complaining about that we are not seeing. We are not even seeing the result of it. So now this one that they can account for, let them do it. We are seeing some other things, they come out to say, oh, they pumped certain billions of naira into something. We will not see it. So if they are saying that they are coming out to give a certain amount, and we are going to see it, and it is just people that actually they're deserving of this award, of these prizes, of this houses and all of that, please give them.
How about you, Chima?
Whether you sacrifice for it, whether you make it happen, whether you borrow for it, I think they should give them the money.
Really?
They deserve it.
Borrow
yes.
for it?
Yes. Don't they borrow for other
Triumph,
things?
let's not go there.
No, what I'm saying is that we are just talking from the perspective of Nigerians because we are saying that, oh, they are giving. They, up there, they do things much more than we can think about. So let's not say it's not something they can do. When it comes to the place of sacrifice, the things these people sacrifice to do some things that even sometimes are not right, when you see the kind of sacrifices that they do, then you will know that I don't think it's too much. If they don't have it, they make it happen. They should make it happen. At least we see that.
Well, if that's the case, they should make it happen in every other sector.
In every other sector. They
Because
should
that's
put
what's making people raise eyebrows. That if you really can make things happen, not just in sport, in this healthcare that we've mentioned, nurses are going on strike. Make it happen there.
And I think another reason why they might be doing this is just for the what's it called of it, so that we can see that they are doing something. Please do it in every other thing too.
Chairman,
it's not too late to come out and say, okay, we overpromised. Honestly, it's better than not fulfill. It's better than
31
keeping.
years
Yes, it's
later.
better than 31. So it's not too late to come out and say, okay, after much consideration, after a 33-man closed-door meeting, we have concluded that we are not there yet as a nation. So we would reduce. However, we are not going to give you anything at all. We will slash it.
We'll give it in installments.
No, not installments.
We can spread it across their career.
They are implicating themselves. Just pay one-off, small price. That's what I think. That's what I really think.
Honestly, I think this conversation has really opened up a whole lot for us. But let's agree, the Super Falcons, they've earned their applause 1,000 times over. But as we clap, we must also ask, are we building systems that allow the next generation to rise? Or are we giving flowers to champions while ignoring the road? Because in the end, true progress is not the size of the check, but in the strength of the structure. And that's something we emphasize today. So thank you to our viewers for staying with us on Ways Breakfast. Thank you to my co-anchors, Chioma, the birthday girl, and Triumph Akimboye. So till next time, stay curious, stay hopeful, and we'll see you again. Bye.
Bye.